Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Building Community Through Corporate Giving. My name is Amanda Chu. I'm the Channel Marketing Coordinator here at SAFE. I've been here about 3 years now, and I'm joined by Sonia Hobbs.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I believe we have folks attending from various corners of our earth. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining us. My name is Sonia Hobbs. I'm the VP of Business Development and Strategy here at SAFE. I've been here for 10 years, and I've been working alongside Amanda and a number of some amazing people here looking at the community giving, corporate giving initiatives over the last few years. So we're really excited to walk you through part of this journey.
So our key takeaway for this webinar is to inspire you to find ways to give back to your community. Giving back doesn't always have to equal a monetary amount. As a business, monetary funds are probably the easiest way that you can think of to give back to your community and make a difference, and that's fantastic, but we've found that there are other ways that we can also give back, and you can get creative with it too, that works in a way that works nicely into your corporate structure. So it can be whether it's through financial aid, sponsorship, product offerings, or even your employee time. It can come in all shapes and sizes, and any company can find success in corporate giving.
Absolutely. Investing in corporate giving doesn't just feel good, it actually serves a purpose in the community and within your business. Oftentimes we support a charity or a cause because we've been personally impacted or professionally impacted, and sometimes we support a cause because it feels good and that is the right kind of thing to do. These are all good reasons to start, but ultimately why it is good is because it actually builds community. And it gives strength and helps equalize those around us so everyone can benefit. And as that cycle continues, everyone is stronger, they continue to give back, and they further build the community. And that is the ultimate good, and the ultimate reason why we believe very strongly that giving back to our community today will help build the community and make it just a better place to participate and be in. We do know we are stronger when we're all working towards common goals. So speaking of common goals, I guess I should spend just a few minutes talking about our journey and how Safe Software started. I firmly believe like our story started in a similar way, or at least in the essence of it. 26 years ago, founders Don Murray and Dale Lutz, they had an idea to help local forestry companies exchange information with the provincial government. At the time, the interchange was really tricky. There was lots of coding, there was no direct ability to move a format from one to another. It was very complicated stuff. And Don and Dale, they're friendly guys, they're smart guys, and they actually came up with a really unique way to support this particular customer and organization. However, while they were building this solution, they kind of had a vision and I would say foresight, essentially, and they saw a pattern that other industries were also experiencing similar issues with moving data, and luckily they anticipated a need for a solution that would allow for easier flow of data between different systems. This is how the FME platform was born, and really it was born to address our mission, and our mission became very clear. Safe software exists so organizations can use their data whenever, wherever, and however they need it. Today, we support over 10,000 customers worldwide, and we help power the flow of data between hundreds of formats and systems. So, that's sort of the sales pitch, but really, in having success in building this amazing product, another thing happened alongside with it, and our amazing culture also merged.
So Don and Dale have always been advocates of creating a fantastic work-life balance here at SAFE. They often say that if you're working more than your 40 hours, you need to reevaluate some things. So it's always been top and foremost of their mantra at work. So the diverse set of activities that Savers have participated in have also included forms of philanthropy. A lot of our in-house initiatives and projects and drives have been driven by a safer most of the time. And 5 years ago, we realized that there was a pattern to those initiatives that we participated in. And this led to the creation of our community mandate. So this community mandate means that we support the growth of youth, women, and clean tech in our local community. We'll go a little bit more into some of the initiatives that we support later in the webinar, but you'll notice that a lot of them will fall under those three umbrellas.
Yeah, and it was actually really interesting noticing that there was a pattern, like Amanda said, for 25 plus years, we had been doing these things that were they were organically happening, and a lot of it driven by staff, driven by the mission that Don and Dale espoused as well, right? So while we go through the rest of the session, our first ask of you, as you're thinking about your organization and your community, is, are you able to identify patterns of support that are happening in your current portfolio of community initiatives? I would argue that you probably do have a pattern if you haven't actually thought specifically about it. And anyways, it was a really good exercise for us to kind of go through that, because when the pattern emerges, it's actually a lot easier to say, oh, hey, you know what? It makes it a little bit easier to decide on additional activities. So while you're thinking about that, we have also identified another pattern in that, how does SAFE give back to community? And essentially, we've identified three patterns. Amanda mentioned one of the first ones earlier. Most of the time we think of monetary give with financial aid and sponsorships. Sometimes that is the most immediate way that you can have an impact, but there are other ways, and we'll spend a little bit of time on point two as we move through. Obviously, we are a technology company. Not everyone is a technology company, so think about, once again, what's unique to you. But for us, we have ways that we can support the community with the use of our amazing technology. We're also, have noticed that there's a way that we were able to support community by building it into our regular business process. So we're going to spend some time talking about that when we speak to the World Tour. And finally, and this is one that often does get overlooked, corporate giving with staff time and company culture. Like this, your time is one of the most precious things that you have to give as an individual, but also as an organization. I mean, obviously, as an organization, you have things that you're trying to do, you need to hit targets and you need to make sales and whatnot. So sometimes, we have this feeling of, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do all these other things that I want to do. But carving out time and making it something that's important for the organization can actually go a really long way. And we wanted to talk a little bit about that as well. So on the first point of financial aid and sponsorships, what we've decided, and once again, we noticed with the pattern of the financial aid that we were supporting, was that, once again, there were four sort of buckets of areas that all of our sponsorship went into. We noticed, and Amanda's going to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the individual initiatives, but we noticed that you can actually provide financial aid to specific causes or specific organizations. Oftentimes, this is like an ongoing support because it's something that's either near and dear to your organization's goals or missions, or it's something that is part of a personal belief that reaches across your organization. It's supporting that. We also have noticed that sometimes there's time box projects or initiatives that just need a quick injection of financial support. And sometimes that is a little bit easier to do because it isn't an ongoing thing. And when you're not sure, what you're able to commit on a year over year basis, starting with specific projects or initiatives can be a good way to go. Matching funds. This is something we are so lucky at Safe Software because Don and Dale have often supported a lot of the initiatives that our staff have come to them with, and we've had some really interesting. Like I'm thinking Movember comes to mind, and helping at Christmas time at the food bank, and Don and Dale have often when staff privately go and try to engage in activities and get other staff inspired and participating. Oftentimes, Don and Dale will look to match funds and help make that impact grander and greater. And then finally, this sort of does fall under point one, where you find certain causes and organizations, but I wanted to highlight for us specifically, we are in the tech industry, and so we're in a very specific part of the tech industry, so there are certain organizations that may not be in our immediate geographical community, but they're very important to the success of our future generations. And so oftentimes we are trying to foster and support globally things that are going to help pave the way for technology. Locally we support BC Tech Association and many of the things that they do, but we also support DevOps Days and OSGeo Community Sprint and Phosphor-G, and these are some of you who may not be in the same industry as us, you might be like, what are those things? There's probably opportunities for you in your industry to look at. Are there industry specific initiatives that you can support that can help move things forward?
So as Sonia said, we've been very fortunate to be involved with some fantastic local initiatives in our community. We put our mission statement as the forefront of our values, and that's reflected in many of the things that we do, whether that's through our product or even the building that we're currently in. So we'll kind of go down the list here, but we've been very fortunate that our current building is a LEED certified building. We have EV charging stations downstairs in the parking garage. We highly encourage green bins and recycling, composting all throughout the building. We have a rooftop community garden as well, which the staff make great use of in the summertime. And because we do a lot of travel, we're also proud to be carbon neutral. So we pay back for the flights that we are spending on. And then in terms of the development of youth, we've got a very long, wonderful history supporting the development of youth in our community. So to just name a few, FRAFCA, which is the Fraser Region Aboriginal Friendship Centre Association, Ronald McDonald House and their family rooms over at the Surrey Memorial Hospital. We've also supported the Surrey School Board with their Attendance Matters breakfast program, which ensures that kids in the inner city of Surrey get that breakfast and that good start to the day that they need before they head into their school day. And Easter Seals Drop Zone, which sends kids with developmental disabilities to camp, and all of these have things that I think are near and dear to each and every one of the safers in the building. And we've always seen such a fantastic response from our staff members when we do say that we're doing these initiatives. And finally, we also support women in tech. We have a long-term standing relationship with SFU Technovation, Girls in STEAM, Driving Wind Tech, Girls in Tech, and the What Works Women in Tech series with BC Tech Association as well.
Yeah. So, as Amanda was saying, we do have a long list of initiatives. Once again, a few years ago, when we started looking at the initiatives that we were naturally supporting, these were the themes that popped up for us. I mean, it's not to say that we don't, sometimes there are additional things that do happen that might be timely or relevant, and of course we would always look at them. But once again, for your organization, if there are things that really speak to the mission and the values of your employees, I think that's an important thing to look at. The other piece, I don't know if it's clear in some of the things that we've been talking about, is we do have a focus on local community. We are very proud to be in a beautiful building, but also in a beautiful community, and so we do try to support things in our local community. Surrey, for those of you who may not be familiar, it's about 45 minutes outside of Vancouver. So oftentimes you know, a lot of initiatives do happen in the bigger cities, and we were, being a Surrey-based organization, being an anchor company here on this side of the Fraser, it was really important to try to also support activities and organizations that are doing good in our community. So that's kind of an umbrella theme that we have for our various activities.
So because we are a technology company, and going back a little bit to our mission statement and how our mission statement is to help people conquer their data challenges, we've found that by also giving away our product to people that are doing good, there's been wonderful feel-good stories that have also come out of that. So our grant program is something that we have historically given free licenses away to research and development folks. So also in the educational sense, we have instructors and students that can request these licenses to use them in the classroom for learning. And it is a win-win situation for us, but we see that we're giving students these tools that they can use and bring forward into their careers, and into other organizations that they'll be going into once they enter the workforce. So in 2019 alone, we gave away about $10 million in licenses in our new grant program, and we almost have 8,000 active grant licenses to date.
That's globally.
That's globally, yeah. And it's such a wonderful thing, because if an individual is reaching out to us about these free licenses, it is an annual renewal program, but as long as they meet those requirements, they still receive that license free of charge.
Yeah. Yeah. And just on that, once again, we're unique in that sense. We are a technology company, and our technology, we know, can support a lot of organizations. So just recently, in light of you know, some of the things that are happening, we've donated licenses through the support of our partner community and our user community in Australia to help monitor, I believe, the wildfire situation when natural disasters have popped up. Once again, because our technology is unique in that it's you know, it's reading data from, you know, geo information systems and whatnot. So you know, it's kind of relevant to some of the things that are happening, and we're lucky in that sense. You know, but I know sometimes people come and ask us, well, gosh, you're giving away a lot of free licenses. Like, you know, how do you make money if you're giving it all away? And, you know, to be honest, like I said, I've been here for 10 years, and over my 10 years, it's been a really good philosophy, because we've built a lot of goodwill, but we've also, you know, expanded the knowledge base. We've got this passionate community, and actually just 2 years ago we introduced it. The evolution of the grant program was the home use license, and as Amanda said, the recent graduate program. You know, when people were saying, hey, you know what, I love FME and I love using it at my office, but I also have things that I want to do at home, and I've got special projects, or I'm volunteering with a particular organization and I think they could use it. You know, we were saying, hey, you know what, this is fantastic, this is good news all around. And so we're just thrilled that people are able to use our technology, and they're able to do good in their communities as well. And once again, that's just part of this, you know, sort of amazing thing that's happening. And at this juncture, I actually wanted to spend a few minutes just talking a little bit about our FME World Tour. Some of you may be familiar with it. It is, as Amanda said, and as we've been talking, we're a technology company, and so we release a product, you know, a big release once a year, and, you know, sort of regular releases kind of throughout. But one of the things that we were trying to do was promote our product and get the message out there. And so about 10 years ago, we started the FME World Tour to take the message out to our user community. Today, we host about 25 events in North America over a span of like a week and a half, and then about 50 50 events across the globe via our partners over a 3-month window. I believe the numbers are about 6,000, at least in the last year or so. So it's a great program. We get in front of people. These are free events. They're one-day events. The issue that we were running into was we got a lot of traction. We got a lot of excitement. However, with free events, as any of you who might try to run events yourselves, when you have a free event, you're not necessarily guaranteed that people are going to come. And so when it comes to a virtual webinar, okay, the cost of doing something like that is maybe not as high. However, we were doing in-person events. We are doing in-person events. In addition to that, we're sending staff down to support the activity. We also have the added cost of projecting how big is the room going to be, how much food do we need to order, how much material are we going to send, how many prizes are we, so it became kind of a logistical headache, because one of the things that we were trying to solve for was reducing our waste and reducing that carbon footprint. We had formulas and whatnot, but it was still a little bit tricky. So what we didn't want to go out and charge for these events, because we still believe that this is something that we want to do as an organization, but we needed to find a way to address that problem, have a little skin in the game for our attendees, and also maybe find a way to give back. And so the team put on their creative hats, and what we did was we decided that we would introduce a nominal fee. I think the fee is about $25. Yeah, a nominal fee, so it's not cost prohibitive. To incentivize people to actually attend, and or to think twice, to think before committing to attending. And of course, we would refund if they're not able to. But the flip side was that we, instead of taking the money and applying it to the cost of the activities, we let our attendees know that all of the proceeds that were raised went back to support the local food banks. So we were trying to offset the issue of the food waste and the carbon waste. And the way we wanted to support them is by supporting their local communities. And to be honest, it has worked out amazingly. Amanda, you've got some numbers for us, right?
Yeah, so because we launched this in 2018, over the course of the past few years, we've actually raised about $80,000 to give back to various food banks across North America in all the cities that we visited. And it's funny because we weren't expecting to hear anything back from the food banks. I think we were just going to send them the money and then hope that it did some good. But the local food banks in those cities actually gave us feedback and reached out, and we're very confused initially as to why a company in Surrey, British Columbia had any interest in a food bank in Atlanta or Boston or somewhere.
Exactly.
And when they heard that what we were doing, they thought it was wonderful, and they were so thankful that we were able to give back to them in some small way.
Yeah. Additionally, I think the feedback we got from staff and attendees was they actually felt good, being able to participate in something like that. So that's kind of the challenge. The second ask of you is there something that you're doing already today where you can turn around and support, once again, either a local community or the community that you're in? Can you do something unique that is specific to your organization and your offering that can help kind of pay it forward? Honestly, like we weren't expecting to have the success that we did, not just on the monetary giving side, but also, we did solve our problem. Our attendance fluctuation went from double digits to single digits in every city. It was incredible. So, we solved the problem, we did good, and it felt great. So, and our final point, cognizant of time, is, like I said, this is a big one. This is very near and dear to my heart, and also to this organization. Once again, time and experience is something that if you're not in a position to provide monetary support, if you're not in a position where you can give away free goods, we know your time is precious. We know your experience is also very precious. Being able to support your employees to share that back out can go a long way. At SAFE, it is baked into our employee culture. We are very lucky, once again, that our founders who have been leading us for all these years and are doing an amazing job, they continue to inspire us to participate. So SAFE, actually, we have multiple sponsored days where staff can volunteer during an actual work day, and use the time to go give back to the community. We talked really briefly earlier about matching funds on fundraising, and that, I think, is another way. It can be nominal, but it can be in the moment and can go a long way.
And because we also are big proponents of supporting youth in our local community, we have a very strong intern program. In fact, many of the employees that we currently have are former interns, and I'm speaking as someone that was a former intern. I was able to begin work as a student, and then I was lucky enough to get a part-time contract while I was finishing my degree, and now finally I'm a full-time employee. So I've been here 3 years, and I've been able to see a development and growth that I don't think I would have received anywhere else, and it's been very unique to SAFE. And by hiring local talent, we are ensuring that we're truly representing Surrey and the Lower Mainland as a result of that. So we have very strong relationships with the universities in town here, so SFU, UBC, BCIT, and we're really giving students an opportunity to have meaningful work before they enter the workforce.
Yeah. And so hopefully, just in our last few minutes, we've given you some food for thought. I mean, once again, the things that I think we talked about, they're not groundbreaking. There's a lot of thought leadership out there about community giving, but we just wanted to share some of the ways that we've had success. And in recap, I guess, just hoping that more companies will get involved. And so yeah, so just some of the key takeaways about the things that you can do, and why you should do it, right? So as we talked about, it feels good and it serves a purpose and it helps build a community, and that one, we hope it has been evident in our talk. I also strongly believe that, when you're in a position, and I know that this is something that Don and Dale have said as well, when you're in a position to give, and you are able to give back, this is the time to do it. So leading by example is a really, really important piece. We are in a position that we are successful and we're thriving, and we have great talent here. So now is the time to do it, not later. And finally, it is good for your business. Like it's not just about political goodwill or business goodwill, but our staff, our partners, our customers, our future staff, like we're part of this amazing culture, and I think people can feel proud to know that it's an organization such as yours or ours that is giving back to the local community and making a difference.
So in conclusion, there are so many ways that you can give back, whether that's through monetary, through time, through your own business offering that is unique to you. We hope that this small, short webinar gave you some inspiration or ideas to push you to find ways to give back to the community this year.
So that's our ask of you. Make it your New Year's resolution, folks. And in closing, just if you have any questions or you want to bounce some ideas off, we're always happy to chat and share our success and ideas, and we're happy to brainstorm. So don't hesitate to drop us a line. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful day.